This is another special episode of Chitkara Alumni Series. This time we have with us a 2015 pass out alumni who is a barrister, a lawyer, and a die-hard fan of Chitkara. Without further ado and not spending much time on the introduction, I'll welcome wholeheartedly Mr. Gursimran Singh.
Thank you, sir.
Pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you.
It's an honor. So, 2015 is when you passed out. But tell me something about the days you were just entering Chitkara and the days probably between your passing of your high school and Chitkara. What made you decide come into Chitkara?
Yeah. So I did my mechanical engineering from Chitkara. So during my 12th, I was clear that I have to do engineering in a mechanical field. So that point I figured out which are the good options. And Chitkara was one of the obvious choices.
Because you're nearby you were at Patiala, right?
Yes, it was nearby, as well as we had a lot of good reputation for Chitkara University. Even that time also, people...
But what was the real reason? Was it your love for cars and machines?
Probably, yes, cars I did liked, and industrial big machines I was interested in. So this made me come to Chitkara, and I remember when I was introduced to mechanical engineering, it was a tough course. It was not an easy course. It is easier to say from outside 12th, but when we entered, and it was a tough course, but it was very much structured course.
So it was a structured course, but to get into this structured course, what was the opinion of your parents? Were they wanting you to be a mechanical engineer, or उनको था कि कोई pilot या doctor या कुछ ऐसा
No,
बने?
they were okay with whatever choice I make. So even in 12th, I had this option. Only dilemma was either to go for law or engineering. But then I decided to take engineering. And so my parents were more than happy, and they were assured when we figured out that we got an admission in Chitkara. They were assured that I was in a good place. In fact, I'll say it's a safe place. So safe in terms of upbringing of a 12th standard child's mind. So that way it was a very good choice for my parents as well.
And was it also the decision was based on the proximity of your university, potential university to your home?
Proximity as well as the popularity of the college.
Popularity of the college.
In my vicinity also, people knew ki
they vouched about the
credibility
and
the
of brand Chitkara.
Yeah.
Excellent. Now, when you joined Chitkara, right, was there in your mind ever that you thought of that you could be a lawyer?
No. So when I joined Chitkara, I was doing my engineering course as regular as my all of the batchmates. I was doing internships on that side only. But what prompted me was the co-curricular activities during my course.
So you thought you could, we'll come on to law in detail, but let us get into the first year of your university. How was the first year?
So first year, in fact, first day was the one, there's an introduction session whenever a student enters the college for the first time.
Yeah.
So he's told about the history of the college. He's also informed about how the course would be. So since it's a long course, so we were given an introduction. We were told about, sir, how from a mathematics institute, the brand Chitkara has built up. And that was way back in 2011.
Yeah.
So it was an inspiring moment for all of us also.
Right.
And there were a lot of
to
fun
understand
activities.
That legacy and that story of their journey, and which brought in a lot of respect in your mind and heart that okay, if such people have achieved, then you hold a certain amount of respect for them.
Yes, certainly it brings us humility for the institution.
Yeah.
So when we enter this college for the first time, we are sure that we are in a good place. So that sense of gratitude builds up in the first year itself.
I'm sure, when we release this interview, there will be youngsters who would learn one thing from you so far. What we've discussed is the focus. You were very clear what you want when you joined the mechanical engineering.
Yes, that definitely.
Which is a challenge among the youth, no? So
yes, but what I realized was eventually, at one stage you might be having one decision to pursue one career. and at second, after learning, after graduating, after 3-4 years, you might be having another viewpoint. But that's called maturity. You have to you make your decisions with time.
Yeah.
At that time, I still firmly believe I made a very good choice.
Yeah. And you enjoyed the joining and subsequently your years at the university.
Yes.
Now, apart from that, you also had a lot of passion for public speaking. You're a voracious orator, I believe, and elocution comes naturally to you. What different you did here?
Thank you for the praise, but that difference, I believe that difference came from my cohort. My batchmates were the ones who took me to the co-curricular activities of MUNs.
Yeah.
So they introduced me, since they were in Chandigarh, which is more cosmopolitan than Patiala.
Yeah.
So they introduced me the concept of MUNs.
So you were in the OC and all?
Yes.
You were?
Yes. So we organized an MUN here also, in Chitkara. And they introduced me the concept they took, and then there was no turning back. Every couple of months we used to go for
an MUN somewhere or the other.
Yes.
So it was like very interesting to raise funds, sponsorships.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
Correct?
yes.
No, yeah. That's interesting. That's where you learn, I would say, management and leadership, which cannot be taught just through the books. It comes naturally when you face the real world, So
certainly.
great.
In fact, during our time when we organized, through DSW, we told our teacher that we'll even this event will be a profitable event, and from management point of view, we succeeded that as well.
Excellent. So that must be your first venture as an entrepreneur and having an entrepreneurial heart and the team.
Yes.
Who thinks to lead and build a sustainable project.
Yeah, that was
that's interesting because at the end of the day, you got to have how to deal with this crazy thing called money.
Yes, it learned retrospectively when I see. So that organizing an event helps us to learn about those values as well.
Right. And those ethics and those nuances of, I would say acceptance also. Yes. How do you deal with peers?
Yes.
So everybody's not going to be alike and thinking like you. Now, who was your favorite teacher who you still remember out of this 4 years journey? Yeah. Maybe one or two.
So teachers, all my mechanical department teachers were very good. So they taught us quite well. And then Harkiran ma'am was one of the pillars, I'll say, in this institution, because she let us do whatever we wanted to do.
So that was the point where you build a rapport with her.
Yeah. So in the DSW department, the International Students Department, she helped us to navigate our ways. She helped us guide also. We went for Harvard MUN. She was
you represented Chitkara.
Yes, we represented Chitkara, our team.
At Harvard.
At Harvard. 6 of us, and she was the backbone of all the journey that point. Yes.
Absolutely, because a good leader creates opportunities because they want you to not only learn how to swim, but to swim across the ocean successfully. Excellent. So tell me a little bit, how was it when you were in Harvard for this program?
So
representing a university from a North Indian setting, and coming from, I would say, a rural setting in a way, but a university full of modernity and exalted education. Yeah. How was it representing that university in Harvard?
It was a very, very good experience. So when we represented university in the Harvard, at that point we were the initial ones. I think first or the second batch we were the ones. Now I hear that there's a regularly people go for those competitions. So we navigated our path there itself. So we prepared for the competition, and we participated in respective teams, with respected conferences. So we initially there was hesitation from our side also that we're going to do an international platform.
Right.
While we've done well at national platforms, but international platforms, it's a different ballgame.
Must be more competitive.
It is certainly very competitive, and there are certain rules you have to abide by. And but yes, overall, it was a very fun experience. And
how long you were there?
We went for a 2 weeks trip, I'll say.
All 6 of you?
All 6 of us.
Yeah.
So as a team, we built a lot of candor. We built a lot of team spirit, and still we all are connected.
So that's the most beautiful part.
Yes,
You're
yes.
all connected. So and then what were the key takeaways returning back?
So returning back, first key takeaway was that world is too big, and world is competitive. So that takeaway was that we have to be always prepared for taking on the challenges. Because in a rural setup, as you mentioned, if we are sitting and thinking that this is the world around us, that's
Yeah.
now how things
Yeah,
go.
then it fades away.
Yeah.
After a certain time, that kind of exposure, excitement, and all, and you have to move out.
Yes, so that exposure was, I think, one of the most important exposures in my life,
Right.
which eventually helped me in my career as well.
Yeah. One stamp on the CV.
Yes,
Helps you. And anyways, you were a person who likes to talk, express, and you would have told your future employer, "This is what all I've done."
definitely.
So I should be the one getting that seat.
Yes, yes.
Interesting. That's good. So, which one was your? Okay, let me come back again. Now you are in engineering, mechanical going on. You mentioned in our informal, discussion that you were also taken very well care of, guided by one of the professors, Rashmi.
Yes.
Can you share more experience about your interaction with that teacher and how was the sort of camaraderie and I would say the chemistry is the right word.
Yeah, so she was DSW head at that point of time.
As Department of Student Affairs.
Welfare.
Dean Student Affairs.
Dean Student.
Correct. Okay.
So she helped us because there were only two. We bonded with Harkiran ma'am or Rashmi ma'am very well.
Yeah.
So whatever problem we used to see or foresee also, every lunch hour we used to rush into their cabins without even knocking their doors. So we used to rush to them. We used to tell them this is the problem we are facing. This is how we need to solve them. So I'll say they were go-to persons.
Yeah.
So
We all have.
Yeah.
We all have one or two teachers who have the patience to listen to us, whether it's good or crap, whatever.
Yes.
And then, we need extra emotional,
Yes.
assurances.
Yes. Yes.
That drives us back with more energy out of their room.
Correct. And they used to only tell us, do it this, put it more effort. So nothing, they never spoon fed us. That's
Right.
one of the important point. They never spoon fed us. They always gave us a direction on which we had to work.
So this is a very important thing for any student in any university or a college or a school, that there has to be some pivotal point or somebody who's there as a mentor, who you can, I would say, depend upon for addressing some of your conflicts in the mind,
Yes.
or you got to grow. So that also strengthens your mental ability,
Yes.
to move forward and focus back on the purpose and objective you are there in that institution for.
Correct. And this is a
You
speciality
agree?
of Chitkara.
You agree to
I'll
that?
say.
You agree?
Yeah, I agree 100%. In fact, this is a speciality of Chitkara because every student, and I can say that because at least on my batch behalf, that every student is doing well in their careers because at some point some teacher was there to guide them.
Right.
So
And they are good human beings.
they are very, very good human
They
beings.
want to be ethical and they want to have that certain amount of desired compassion to deal with this wild world, which is right now running a riot of information in our head.
Yes.
And how you sustain.
They helped us to, in fact, filter out and pivot our directions towards that side because a lot of my friends went into IITs or they went abroad for
Yeah.
their further studies. None of them went casually. I'll be very candid about it. All of them went with a certain purpose.
Purpose and a plan.
Purpose and plan. And all of them were successful. So few of them did their PhDs from one of the top colleges. Some of them did from India, some from abroad. They're working in top MNCs today.
So they're all settled.
Each and every one of them.
Excellent. So
Yeah.
blessings from Chitkara still on with them, right?
Yes.
Now, share some, before I go to your IIT Kharagpur, your next level of education, what are the fond memories you have from your interactions with Dr. Madhu Chitkara, the founder, co-founder?
Yes. So Madhu ma'am was, I'll say ki she was the spirit behind all the teachers as well. So
Why do you say that?
because she first of all, she's having a personality of very humane person, and she feels the emotions of a student. Uh, because it's important when a student is entering after the class 12th, that age is very tender, and that point of time we are not probably emotionally intelligent also that much. We're not mature, we're grappling with our teenage, and that those emotions, I believe, she understands well, and accordingly she has built the institution in a manner that there is a whole support system for the students.
So you students benefited how to navigate through your,
Yes,
you know,
wherever there is requirement of discipline, there is a disciplinary institution also. Where there were requires that some relaxations are to be given, those relaxations are given quite well.
the addressal is there.
Yes.
So nice. And you had some programs you've done with her or under her ages, or have you traveled with her or not?
So,
were there any instances?
Madhu ma'am interaction I could clearly remember was the ones where she introduced Dr. Kalam to mechanical students.
Our former president.
Yeah, former president Dr. Abdul Kalam. So she introduced mechanical batch to them, and she introduced other personalities as well to our mechanical batch. In fact, she visited the mechanical batch quite often.
Okay, herself.
So herself.
Just to see the checks.
Yes,
Yeah.
she used to have frequent visits. I'll say ki she was always there, at least twice to thrice fortnightly. We could see her monitoring some activity or not. Other, she was always there on campus.
Absolutely.
So-
that involvement.
Yes, that
That
involvement.
is also a very motivational, point, because a leader being there, on her own, and that humility which you mentioned in the beginning of the conversation, and that gives you a lot of encouragement and motivation that, okay,
Yes.
there is somebody. It's just not out there in the dark.
Yes, in fact, in very informal way, we can say she's the mother who's looking about this institution like a parent only.
Absolutely
Yeah.
beautiful. No, she does. We all have a very high regard for her and her understanding to the entire development of this institution and the sensitivity she carries. Now, any memories with Dr. Ashok K. Chitkara?
I don't have direct memories of Dr. Ashok Chitkara, but one very clear and very, a memory which always stood in my mind was my introduction day. So I was informed about the history, how from a maths teacher he built this institution.
Right.
So that journey itself, helped me it left a very indelible mark on my own memory.
And
or
you
my
could program your
personality.
mind at least with that motivation.
I can remember that orientation day very clearly.
So see, that is what it means. You were listening to him with awareness.
Yes.
That's very important. You were there. That's why you remember it very clearly. Now, how was the last day?
So last day was fun.
Why so?
Chitkara has been always fun.
Yeah.
So
Did
despite
you had a crush during these 4 years?
no, not.
Or you don't want to tell me?
we can skip that. But yes, Chitkara was always fun because there was a lot of interaction, a lot of social activities in the college.
Co-curricular
Yes.
and drama, theatre, and you had these annual, fests which were
Yes.
organized.
So in fact,
Rangarees
what
and
I
all.
miss is I should have been a residential
Yeah.
student instead of a person who's going
Yeah,
every
day
day home.
scholar.
Yeah. So that I think residential program would have been more fun
Yeah.
instead of a day scholar. But yes.
So you had a good last day, and then you had the opportunity to get into the prestigious IIT Kharagpur.
Yes, so a lot of students in my batch itself, they went to different IITs for different courses. In fact, few of them went to IIT Kanpur. I went to IIT Kharagpur for law course. Others went for an engineering higher degree.
Yeah.
So IIT Kharagpur was also very good journey. What I missed, a residential campus, I could get there. And,
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
yeah.
So you got that desire fulfilled in IIT Kharagpur.
Yes, so I am happy with that got fulfilled.
Yeah.
Because staying in a residential campus develops your personality even further.
Absolutely.
So-
anything that you have to handle 24/7, and out of that pampering zone of your home, and then you are on your own.
Yes. So in fact, I'll say ki Chitkara was a very comforting institution. IIT was where we have to navigate our path a lot
A lot.
more. So I'll say it's a, in Chitkara, a lot of cozy atmosphere is still there. Teachers do come and take care of you.
Yeah.
In IIT, you have to go and maintain all discipline yourself. So
That was the difference.
That was the difference.
And you enjoyed both the worlds, because you have to give credit to Chitkara and then your school for Chitkara.
Certainly.
So it's a relay of growth.
All of the three institutions were
played a great role.
Great role.
And different learnings.
Yes.
Exactly. And then what specialization you chose in
I
IIT
chose
Kharagpur?
intellectual property law specialization. So it's a specific.
Why was that? Only IPR?
So I had two options at that point. That should I do a law from different university in Delhi,
NLU or something?
a 3-year law from Delhi, or a 3-year law from IIT Kharagpur. But then I was very confident about this. IIT was a way better choice because they wanted students who have science background. So it was.
And you did carry one.
Yes. So it was a course which would add value to my existing knowledge.
Right.
So, and which in fact I feel I reaped that benefit even later, because the journey I followed included to have both specialization, that is legal as well as the scientific background.
That's interesting. That's a good combo.
Yes.
And I think that timing was also right.
Yeah.
Right. And how was, transitioning from IIT Kharagpur and looking for your first job? Did the institute help you get placed?
So yes, institute did help me. I got my first job through as a pre-placement offer. I did an internship in second year in a company in TVS Motors. They offered me the job well in advance.
Okay.
So I was fortunate enough to have that offer.
That was which year?
That was in 2019.
Okay.
So in 2019, I had offering for next year in 2020.
Right.
So, but unfortunately, COVID pandemic happened. So while there were a lot of crises across the country, institution as well as my organization, they both held firmly with the student, and they.
So COVID happened in January 2020, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I was in the COVID batch, I'll say. So, but everything was sorted out by both the organizations quite well, and things went smoothly according to the norms at that point. So, yes.
This is interesting, getting from one, I would say, mega institution of knowledge to another institution of eminence, and then getting on to a job offer and all. So which was your first job you picked?
So I picked TVS Motors as my first job, and the reason to pick was this only, that they stood by their offer while I got another job offer also later on.
So they were there.
They were there. So I respected that commitment from Indian company, in fact. It's an Indian MNC.
Right.
So the ethical values in TVS was pretty high, and those stays high till now. So those values made me to join even that institution. In fact, if we go to South, so that's TVS is an institution in itself.
Massive. Yeah.
So, and it's a very ethical
automobile
organization.
engineering, they are one of the masters.
Yeah. So that's why I thought it's better. I was still in a comfort zone, I'll say. So they took care of
While
me.
you're mentioning this, I missed to ask you about your experience in Baha. So I believe you were there in that team?
No, I was not in Baha.
Yeah.
My exposure towards automobiles was more in TVS.
No, while in Chitkara you didn't go?
No, I didn't go to Baha.
Right. But you wanted to?
Yes, retrospectively I feel yes, it was a very good opportunity.
Yeah.
Because one of my friend who went to Baha, he's in Tesla right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
So are you guys in touch?
Yes, we do interact sometimes.
You never thought of Gursimran to be an entrepreneur?
Not yet. Let's see how this pans out.
Yeah.
So
interesting. You have already made your mark in a way, and it's with a very established law firm. I believe it's Anand and Anand,
Yes,
right?
Anand and Anand is a prominent law firm in IPR.
Yeah.
So, in fact, it's one of the leading in
And
IPR.
you are one of the director partners?
No, no, I'm senior associate there.
Okay.
So, firm is in its 100th year.
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah.
I read that. And the entire list of the team, and you are there.
Yes.
So we could spot you.
Yes.
And feel very proud that that's a Chitkara alumni.
Yes.
Interesting. Shall we do some rapid fire?
Yes, yes, sure.
Okay. Would you choose, what would you choose, ethics or discipline?
Ethics.
Why?
Well, there is no alternative, because once you are ethical, you are disciplines automatically.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Would you choose a Chinese dish over an Indian dish?
Chinese.
Ah.
That's I think in our firm we have a lot of people having Chinese. So
Would you choose a racing motorbike over a speeding car?
I am a frequent watcher of F1, so I'll go for a speeding car.
You'll go for a Formula One.
Yes.
Yeah, that's you have an aspiration to ride that Formula One.
Probably someday, but today I'm only a good
Whose
enthusiast.
permission is awaited? Wives or
Not
parents?
trained that much.
Not trained, but you would like to go ahead with it.
Yes.
So if you have to set up an automobile manufacturing company, what would you manufacture?
I believe EV is the space now.
Yeah.
So probably something EV which can be above air.
So if you have to choose a company today between the topmost law firm of the country and Tesla, which one it would be?
I'll still go for topmost law firm. Yeah,
Interesting.
because legal profession is a very fulfilling profession.
Yeah.
And we take care of the concerns of clients, and I believe that there is no better enjoyment or a sense of gratitude than another engineering profession.
Understood. So space travel versus train travel.
Space.
Interesting. So adventure tourism versus, I would say, a nomadic tourism.
I'll say nomadic.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So before we end this conversation, though I don't want to, is we are new friends and the new excitement is always awesome, right? Curiosity. How was your day today when you were addressing the law school students at Chitkara University at our campus today?
Yeah, so it's a good surprise to see that engineering, it started from a small engineering college.
Yeah.
And now we have different courses and a law school.
So was there a random thought कि मैं यहाँ पढ़ लेता?
Yes, certainly. The infrastructure is first of all tremendous, very good.
You have to promise me you have to come and teach here.
Sure, I can come. I can definitely come. So, law school as wise infrastructure as a campus, I saw it's one of the best infrastructure possible, because I've been part of law school in IIT Kharagpur, and I've seen other colleges also.
Yeah.
That way, I didn't see any gap in the Chitkara Law School.
So you liked it?
Yes. And
how were the students?
Students are very enthusiastic.
Are you going to take them as interns in the future?
Yes, definitely. They can always come as an intern in firms. But I've in fact promised them I'll be there for their guidance, even personally,
Right.
wherever, in whichever field they are looking into. In fact, what was more surprising was there are a lot of female candidates in law school.
Right.
And I can see people might have joined from different surrounding areas, and Chitkara giving that platform of law education would in fact will be a very it'll be a very good pivot point for across the area.
Right.
Because there's a lot of
This
people
region
coming from this
especially.
region, Himachal, Chandigarh,
Yeah.
Patiala, and other places. So this will be a center point of law
Yes,
education now.
absolutely, because tier 2 cities, they're getting such a robust kind of a ecosystem and then a law school, which was unheard of because we were more on the Chandigarh side,
Yes.
Punjab University, and now this law school can cater to the region. Very well, good point. which
They
you
have a
mentioned.
lot of access to all the relevant softwares.
Exactly.
And they have, and since Chitkara has a lot of commercial tie-ups, so unlike traditional law schools, this law school, what I hope and I am sure will be going towards more legal areas which the next century is going towards. That is AI and
Yeah.
data protection.
Yeah, they're integrating AI
Yes.
in most of their modules and all across streams,
Yes.
which is very important and critical. Yeah. So great. And this is all Madhu ma'am's vision, to be very
Certainly,
honest.
Madhu ma'am has built this campus, I believe, personally. She is not just a foundation stone, she's been there for every pillar, every institution, be it School of Journalism, be it School of Architecture. She has personally invested in all of those and recruited excellent faculties. So we have excellent faculty in law school also.
You interacted with them
Yes.
personally.
So I believe it's no less than any other law school in the country.
Very nice. So it's such an honor talking to you. And though it seems that we can go on and on, but I'm sure we will have some wonderful insights and learnings from your conversation, especially the students, who are just joining in, and we got a new fresh batch coming in August, September. And we wish you good luck for your career. And I'm sure you're going to do very well.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I found a friend.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much. All the best. Thanks.